Hey there, making some videos while my voice is still good, or as good as it can be. And this one is going to be about my symptom progression. So, the important thing to note is that in 2018, I had a bad neck injury playing hockey after being boarded, where a guy hit me neck first into the boards. So my left leg couldn't feel it for like better part of a year. Well, in fall of 2023, I started stubbing my right foot a bit, and by January, I was having issues where my right leg felt real heavy. So we thought that was due to my hockey injury, and then it was just shifting to the other leg. Well, January 17th, I was at a volleyball game playing back row, and I bent down to tie my shoe and fell over. Um, and I've always been a little clumsy, but I knew something was wrong that day. So I went to my doctor, and he said, "No, it's probably just a hockey injury. Come back in June." And I said, "I don't think so." So he said, "Well, let's try to do some blood work." So he took me off Prilosec and uh, did some dietary changes. So everything gave me heartburn. So I was just eating baked chicken and yogurt and water, and I lost like 15 or 20 pounds. And that ended up being very bad because of the way ALS works. So, anyway, a couple months later, I was at a concert and they said everybody jump. And I realized I couldn't jump at all, not even an inch off the ground. So, I went back to the doctor who said, "Oh, you need a sports massage." So, I went to a physical therapist to get a massage. They said, "Oh my God, you need to see a neurologist." So I did, and eventually I went to see a neurosurgeon. Now, all this time, my doctors and neurologists said, "Don't lift anything over 10 pounds or it can injure your neck." Well, the way ALS works is that you can never rebuild muscle. So, if I was to break my arm, it would never heal. The way bodybuilders build muscle is lifting weights, and that actually tears your muscles. And when they repair, they get stronger. Mine will never get stronger, so I have to be careful not to overexert because it could damage my muscles. But if I don't use my muscles, they'll also atrophy. So it's finding that middle ground every day. But so anyway, I didn't lift 10 pounds for like 4 months. So now that's led to a year later, my arms are almost gone because the muscles died during that time. But in May, I went to a neurosurgeon who said there was nothing wrong with my neck and I had motor neuron disease, which could have been MS, Parkinson's, or ALS, or a couple other things. But I think I knew that day I had ALS. Um, but that day I used a walking stick to go to the neurosurgeon, and within a month or two, I was using a walker full time. And then September, I was in a portable wheelchair, and by November, I was in this chair. So things have been moving fairly quickly. Um, and ALS can affect your legs, your hands or your throat first. And sometimes people will go for 10 years with only one thing being impacted. Currently, all three are being impacted for me. Like, I can't straighten out my hands anymore. I can't walk except a few steps with the walker and Stephanie holding a belt on me. And my voice is impacted. So things are moving fairly quickly. But that'll wrap it up for this video, and we'll come back to you in part 2.